guys, how are you all doing? It's Cam back at you again. I'm bringing you probably my biggest Q&A ever. I sent out a video obviously the other day asking you guys to throw your questions at me, and it's about time I got around to answering them. So without further ado, let's go! Okay, first question is from Ken Verhiki, or Verhiki. I think I've seen your videos before, cool stuff. What are your thoughts on the non-USA or USA Charvels? And I do have, and do you have a USA made Charvel? If I had, I missed the answer to the past, I apologise. I do have a USA made Charvel. I'm just going to try and reach over for it now. I have the Sandemus Style 2, made in the USA. Gorgeous guitar, and to be honest with you, a lot of people tend to I get quite picky when it comes to where the guitar is made with Charvel, and to be honest, you don't really need to be, because I'd say the quality between the made in Japan, the USA and the made in Mexican ones, because they're all on the wall here, the USA, the Japanese and the Mexican, and this is a Mexican, they're all of equal, when I say equal quality, as in the consistent high quality, it will always remain with Charvel. They're absolutely brilliant guitars, down to the fit, finish, everything. The only thing with Charvels, the only time where they were possibly a bit iffy was probably between 2013 to early 2014, where they were bringing out the sort of transparent blue bursts and candy apple reds, because the quality was still great but just not quite as good. Maybe there just wasn't enough money given to Charvel that particular year to work on quality, but who knows. But from now on though, the Japanese, the USA and the Mexican ones are all of fantastic quality, and to be honest, I think the best value for money Charvels you can get right now are the Mexican ones, easily. But without a shadow of a doubt, doesn't matter what Charvel you're going for nowadays, you're going to get a pretty fucking awesome guitar. So, there you go. That's my opinion on those. Cheers for your question, Ken. Are you ever going to get a 7-string by Matthew Alenius? I do hope to. Charvel have just brought out some brand new 7-strings in the Style 2 format, which I hope to get. Which one of those two, I don't know. But I really do hope to get a 7-string. I'm not really into the sort of chuggy death metal-y approach to a 7-string. I like the approach that Steve Vai has, where it's really quite melodically used, if that makes sense. But I do hope to get a 7-string. I really, really do hope to get one. Another question here from OZ76. Can you play any Jason Becker stuff? Thing with Jason Becker, he's the sort of guitarist, I'm perfectly capable of probably doing Jason Becker stuff, but it's the sort of thing I've always thought to leave alone. It's like Jimi Hendrix in a funny kind of way. But my favourite stuff he ever did was the stuff he did with David Lee Roth. So that kind of stuff, I really, really love that. And also I love the power bluesy stuff he used to do on Little Late Enough. Like, you know, your Tell the Truth. It's really nice sort of power bluesy stuff. I do love Jason Becker, so don't think I've not surpassed him. He's brilliant, brilliant guitarist. Thanks for your question. Okay, I got another question here from Tim Jenkins. What are your all-time favourite albums for guitar, and what is the hardest song you know how to play? Well, I'll start off with your well, I'll start off with the favourite albums. Favourite albums for guitar. I did a video a little while ago about my top 6 favourite albums. That my top 6 favourite guitarists. Sorry, but the thing with albums is it depends on how they've influenced you, and my opinion will change. My opinions probably will be different next week than now. So to come up with them on the spot in terms of guitar playing, I'll forever love Balance by Van Halen. I love Van Hagar, that period, more than early Van Halen, to be honest. No particular reason, well, I do have a reason, I just can't say it on here. But the Balance is one. Steel Panther, Feel the Steel, well, pretty much every Steel Panther record. Story of Light is another important album for guitar playing for me. Passion Warfare is another one. Skyscraper, by another one, a lot of Steve Vai here. Bark at the Moon is another one. I love Jakey Lee. And speaking of Jakey Lee, that is kind of your answer to the next question. What's the hardest song you know how to play? And it's probably Killer of Giants. Actually, I haven't played it for a little while, but I do love Killer of Giants, really hard to play, and I've always ranked that as my hardest thing to be able to play. I haven't played that in a while though. Thanks for your question. What do you think is a better playing guitar, the Charvels or the EVH guitars? Well, they're both made in the same country, probably by the same people in the same factory. They are very much on a level playing field, and I have to admit, the EVH guitars are phenomenal, as are the Mexican Charvels. I can't really say much more than that. Of course, they've got different parts here and there, like the detuners is a little feature. They've got, obviously, some have attached fingerboards glued on and all these things. But in terms of better playing guitar, they're both at very, very consistent and equal levels. They're very equally matched. So it's up to you to decide on that one. But I'd always lean on Charvel. Again, it's not my bias, it's scientific fact. Charvels are just fantastic. And EVHs are great. I'm not dismissing them. I do own one. It's right here. And I love this guitar. Gorgeous neck, very dirty at the moment as you can see, but I do absolutely love EVH guitars. And we do hope to get, in the future, perhaps a Wolfgang or the 5150 Kramer that's just come out at NAMM 2017. Who knows? But we'll see. How did you get up to speed the Gus G lick when you play the intro solo for Crazy Train? Just playing to a metronome or a special trick? Well, no. I assume you mean this one. That question was from Jesus Hard Rock. That one. That lick. I picked it up. I sussed out what the pattern was initially. And what I learned to do was to get the technique right first. And once you get the technique right, you get it comfortable at any speed and you learn to match your speed. Playing it to a metronome, I think, it's boring for a start. And also as well, it's not a faster way of building up speed. Although it's a bit more disciplined, I tend to find. And I do that for some things. But it's not, with a lick like that, it's about, it's literally a true speed test where it's literally, basically, I'd practice it, see how fast I could go. I'd say if I was first learning it, I first started out learning it, I'd start by basically how fast can I play that lick anyway, and say if I could play it slow, great. Then what's the fastest I can do it without before I turn sloppy? That very fine line where it's clean, and then any faster it turns to crap. So, do you know what I mean? So what you do is you then learn to play it at your fastest possible speed, and then without thinking about it, the lick is working its way into your muscle memory. And once it's wormed its way in there, you'll eventually become comfortable at being able to play it at any speed and as smoothly as possible. You actually are learning a lick a lot faster than you would be to playing it to a metronome. And you can apply that concept to any lick. I hope that helps. I didn't practice that one to a metronome, although I do very, very rarely do it for some things. Thanks for your question, Jesus. Or Jesus. Let's go. Stefan Nickel asks, you have an EVH 5150 head but still use the Yamaha THR-10X. Why? Just for YouTube videos or recording reasons? I record with the EVH, yeah I do. But when it comes to videos and all of these things, it's all about portability and volume. The EVH 5150 head is so loud. I mean, it's really loud. And I don't want to ever disturb anyone. And I play a hell of a lot, so I don't want to piss people off over repetition and constant playing. and also the Yamaha you can just rotate to accommodate for videos, and it's much easier to switch around for settings. And also I'm lazy, I can't be arsed waiting for tunes to warm up, I just literally turn it on and I'm off. But that's my main reason. I just tend to just use the Yamaha for more simplistic reasons, to be honest, and it's not as loud. So yeah, there we go. I do love the EVH, and it's not like I don't use it. I do use it, so don't be worried. Next question. Kreifdish asks, I know you. Hey Cam, first of all, I love to see a live stream. I do live streams on Instagram, so if you ever want to go there at some point, please make your way there. I'll put a link to my Instagram and my username in a caption somewhere on the screen now. My question, have you thought about doing Skype lessons? Would love to take one. One, I don't have Skype, and also my problem is with teaching and lessons and things, I tend to rabbit on for ages, because I'm not the sort of person who feels it's the best way to teach someone through a screen unless it's a riff or something really simplistic. When it comes to, say, lead playing or anything moderately complicated, I'd say it's really about being able to do it on a one-to-one basis, and you can really teach someone and get kind of physical with it all, because a lot of people, you tend to find, even if it's with bending, a lot of with licks that I do, I've got to show them physically, you know, how to get it right. And with Skype, I'd be there for too long, I'd bore the hell out of you, and also it'd just be, I don't think it'd be very productive. I wouldn't feel confident doing it. So I'm sorry, but no Skype lessons right now, but I'm sure I could try and help some of you guys maybe over an Instagram live stream or something along those lines in the near future. Seriously, Instagram, I really want to build that up because it's a better medium for me if I'm not on YouTube, so make sure you head over there. Cheers for that, but I'm not doing Skype lessons at the moment. Jack Wood asks, got any tips on improving hand synchronization when doing 5 to 6 string arpeggios, and what are the personal preference connection you have with Charvel in comparison with other brands? Well, Charvel, I've already explained, have very consistent high quality, and the fact that it's basically a beefed up Strat is exactly what I could have ever have wanted. So that's pretty much my reasons for sticking with Charvel. They're just amazing guitars and they just really suit me down to the ground. But in terms of improving 5 to 6 string arpeggios, well, I don't really use 5 to 6 string arpeggios very much, because I never really thought about it, but I guess the thing to do is practice them really, really slow, but not too slow, because the more, the thing with an arpeggio, it's not meant to be perfectly clean unless you're tapping it. That kind of thing. But a 5 to 6 string arpeggio, so it could be something like... with arpeggios, I don't tend to use them very much, and I don't really care about going back the other way. When I say coming back the other way, I mean descending. I tend to like to sweep through them and use them as a passage to get to somewhere else. Or that kind of thing. So a tip to getting precise with them would be breaking the arpeggio down into little bits. So take this one, this is quite a simple one, it's a 6 string one. And it's basically following the pentatonic shape. So you pick down and take it through really, really slow. But when it comes to getting precise and speeding it up is to relax, be gentle with it. Because a lot of people go really, really hardcore with it, and it's not the way to go, I tend to find. It's the way it works for me anyway. Be gentle. So take this one. And it's basically an exercise of rolling your fingers. You just tilt. And another, this is a 5 string. So the thing to do is basically practice with them really, really slow and make sure you've got the right pick as well. You want one with a point. That's one thing I tend to find. Without further ado, let's go on to the next question. I hope that helps. Michael Allen asks, not even a question. And it says, and Kramer. I assume basically you want my opinion on Kramer, and to be honest, I don't really like him. And I'm not being a dick. towards Kramer. I'm really not. I mean, I've played a few Kramers, and to be honest, if I was, say, I don't know, just a kid starting out playing guitar in heavy rock music, and I got a Kramer Pacer under my tree, I'd be wetting myself with excitement. I mean, they're a great starter guitar, but if you want something that's really comfortable, and I do genuinely mean really comfortable, and just an awesome hard rock machine, it's better off saving just a few more pennies and getting a Charvel. This is basically my biggest advert. I mean, you don't need a Kramer, just go for a Charvel. They're so much better, and they just suit me down to the ground, and they'd suit anyone else down to the ground, because if they suit me, they suit you. Simple as. Well, there we go. That's my opinion on Kramer. Hey Cam, been a fan of your channel and playing for some time. Just recently bought my first San Dimas. Good on you, son. We'll post some videos to my channel soon. Question: when two-string or unison bending, how do you solve the issue of strings being or slightly losing tune? Did you tighten the springs or have another method? I play half step down. I don't ever fiddle with the setups of the guitar. I've just learned to play as it is. I assume you mean unison bends like... with unison bends like that, it's not about losing tune. It's more about it's about getting the right level of technique in your bending, and being able to bend it up to a bending in tune, if that makes sense. It's about being able to bend in tune, simply. Because of course you are going to have a difference where the bridge will move if you've got a moving bridge guitar like a Charvel, as opposed to, say, a hardtail guitar like a Les Paul or something. So the thing to do is, it's all about finding the right note, because it took me a while to get. I appreciate it totally. Literally, it's just so you play obviously the two you want to bend up, and you just find that sweet spot. And even if it does mean really crawling up to it. There are some things where you are going to be limited. Say like two bends on the same fret, you are going to have trouble there. Or some country flavoured licks maybe. It depends on what you're doing. But I think the thing to do is more about practicing the technique in bending as opposed to adjusting the setup of your guitar. A lot of people tend to think that the guitar's the problem, not themselves. And I'm not saying that directly towards you, so don't get offended at all. I'm sure you're awesome. But literally the thing is, it's about being able to adapt to how your guitar should be, not the other way around. Nevertheless, I hope that helps. Can you do an ACDC tone tutorial for your Yamaha THR-10X? Says Fazil Ashraf. I could, if I ever bothered to look for an ACDC tone. I'm sure there is one in there somewhere. But the best amp for it, I'd highly recommend, would be either the THR-10C or the standard THR-10, because they've obviously got more martially models in them. But whereas the THR-10X is a bit more of a hard rock, more modern sounding amp in terms of those tones. But I'm sure you can find one in there. I will go looking, and if I do find one, I will upload one. So don't worry, I'm not dismissing that one. Cheers for your question. I'm not going to pronounce your name, but you ask, do you own any 24 fret guitars? I do. I have an Ibanez. I don't bring it out too much at the moment because it is broken, although it doesn't sound broken. I don't tend to bring it out because I was recording something of my own, one of my own tunes with it, and what you would do is obviously you'd turn the volume up to do a take. Then when you're done, roll it off, and if you like the take or whatever, just do whatever you need to do. But when I did this particular take, turned the volume up, did what I needed to do, it went really, really well, but the volume knob wouldn't go back down. It was stuck on 10 all the way up, and it's broken. It's seized up, basically. And there's something wrong with the volume pot. I've got a replacement pot to deal with it, and I've just not got around to doing with it yet. I'm too scared to touch these things. So... so yeah, I do own a 24 fret guitar. It's my Ibanez RG2620. John Huyton, or Houghton, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. You've mentioned writing and recording some of your own material before. Any news on when or if you're going to be releasing any of it? And when are you and your brother getting a full band together? 2 questions in one. We are in the middle of recording it at the moment. We've finished 3 tracks at the moment. Well, 4 tracks to be precise. And to be honest, I'm the one who's slowing it all down, because I'm never happy with how it ever comes out. I've previewed some of my own stuff on live streams on Instagram before, and you guys seem to really dig it. It's very much leaning on the, according to you guys, Zakk Wylde, Mark Tremonti, and a bit of Van Halen in terms of sounds. But and to be honest, I don't mind. That's great. But I do hope to get something together this year. 2017, I think, is going to be the year. Nothing good was happening in 2016, but I do hope to get something together at some point. I just need to get all my own stuff finished off and get registered with PRS, PPL, and all those guys before I start getting a band together. And I'm not going to play any original riffs of mine on YouTube before it's released, because, well, you guys could just steal it if you wanted to, and I don't want that. So, nevertheless, thank you very much for your question, John. Thanks very much for watching this video, you guys. I hope you've found this Q&A productive. If you guys want to truly get hands-on with your questions, I'm going to be doing regular live streams on my Instagram account, which is GuitarmanCam. It's basically where I did a live stream last night. Actually, I went on for 3 hours, and I'm pretty sure I got around to answering pretty much every question everyone threw at me. And I can really go into detail with all of this stuff without taking up too much time or editing videos. So without further ado, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be doing live streams a lot more, and I really appreciate you watching this video. It's probably been my biggest Q&A ever, this. So thanks very much. See you soon, and I'll just play us out. Let's go.
Yeah.